Okay, so let's set the scene. Your business has been running on that same email server in the office for what, years now? It's been reliable, sure, but now it's time for an upgrade. It's time to move to the cloud. This is a super common challenge, but the big question is always, how do you actually get everything from point A to point B without, causing a total meltdown? Well, let's break that down.
So here you are, staring at this project, moving your entire company's email system over to something modern like Office 365. And yeah, it can feel like a huge, complicated job. But what if I told you there's a strategy designed to make it, well, almost surprisingly straightforward? There is. It's called a cutover migration. And that brings us to the cutover migration. Now, I know the name sounds a little technical, but the idea behind it is actually really simple. Think of it like moving houses. Instead of dragging one box over at a time for weeks, you plan it out, you hire a great team, and you move everything, and I mean everything, in one big coordinated push over a single weekend. That, in a nutshell, is a cutover migration for your company's data.
We call this the Big Bang approach because it's all about moving everything at once. But what does everything actually mean in this context? And how does it work without you losing a single email? Let's get into the details.
And this is super important. We are not just talking about emails here. A cutover migration moves the entire environment. That's every single user mailbox, every contact list, all of your distribution groups, and every calendar appointment. The whole idea is to create a perfect mirror image of your old setup in its brand new cloud home. And here's the part that should make your IT team breathe a huge sigh of relief. This whole process isn't some risky cut and paste job. It's a copy. All of your original data stays exactly where it is, safe and sound on your old server while the migration is happening. Nothing gets deleted until you are absolutely 100% ready to make the final switch. It's a fantastic safety net. But, and this is probably the biggest catch, this method is specifically built for smaller organizations. The absolute hard limit here is 2,000 mailboxes. If you've got more than that, this Big Bang approach just isn't going to work for you, and you'll need to look at a completely different strategy.
Okay, so let's say you're under that 2,000 mailbox limit, and this is sounding pretty good. Before you jump in, there are a few ground rules. Think of them as the non-negotiable rules of the game to make sure your system is actually ready for this kind of move. First up, rule number 1, you have to have Outlook Anywhere enabled on your old Exchange server. It's basically the tech that lets Outlook connect securely from anywhere on the internet. For this migration, it's like opening the front door so the Office 365 service can reach in and start copying your stuff. No open door, no move. Simple as that. Rule number 2 is all about security. You absolutely need a valid SSL certificate, and it has to come from a trusted public authority. And seriously, this is a must-have. Think of it this way. This certificate is what makes your data transfer secure. It's the difference between hiring a certified, insured moving company versus just some random person with a truck. It keeps your valuables safe. All right, rule number 3. The administrator account that you're using to run this migration needs to have access to every single mailbox it's supposed to move. It's got to have the master key, so to speak, so it can just smoothly open every door, copy the contents, and move them over without getting locked out.
Rule number 4 is a quick and easy one, no hiding. If a user's mailbox is hidden from your company's main address list, the migration process will literally just pretend it doesn't exist. It'll get skipped entirely. So to get moved, it has to be visible.
And finally, rule number 5. If you use any other tools to synchronize your user accounts, something like Azure AD Connect is a common one, you have got to turn them off first. Why? Because the cutover migration is going to create new cloud accounts for everyone. If you leave another sync tool running, they're both going to try to do the same job, and you'll end up with a huge mess of duplicate accounts.
So, you've checked all the boxes, you meet the rules, and you're ready to roll. Let's walk through what the actual journey looks like, step by step, taking your data from that old server to its shiny new home in the cloud.
The whole thing really happens in 4 main stages. First, you got to prove to Office 365 that you actually own your company's domain name. It's a quick verification thing. Second, you build what's called a migration endpoint, which is basically a secure digital bridge connecting your old server to the cloud. Third, you kick off the migration batch. This is the heavy lifting, where the system starts copying all that data in the background. And finally, once that's all done, you just assign the Office 365 licenses to your users so they can log in.
Okay, so the copy is done, the data's in the cloud, the users are ready, but new email is still being delivered to the old address. This brings us to the most critical, final moment of the whole process, flipping the switch.
It's exactly like putting in a change of address form with the post office.
Before you flip the switch, all new email from the internet is routed to your old in-office server. After you flip the switch, you change that routing, so all new mail starts flowing directly to the Office 365 cloud instead. You're giving the internet an official new forwarding address for all your company's mail.
So how do you actually do that? Well, it all comes down to updating one single but incredibly powerful record on the internet. It's called your MX record. You can think of this little record as the internet's GPS for your email. It tells the entire world where to deliver messages meant for your domain. By changing it to point to Office 365, you make the move official.
Whew, we've covered a lot of ground here. The what, the how, and all the rules. So now, let's bring it all home with a simple little scorecard to help you decide if this all-at-once move is really the right fit for you.
So let's get right to it. Who is this for? A cutover migration is absolutely ideal for smaller organizations, remember under 2,000 users, who want to go all in on the cloud in one simple, decisive project. Now, who is it not for? Well, it's not for big enterprises, and it's definitely not for anyone who wants a hybrid setup where some mailboxes stay on the old server. And if you'd rather do things gradually, in stages, this isn't the move for you.
And really, if you're going to remember one thing, this quote from the source material just nails it. The number one reason to choose this method is its simplicity. It really is the most direct, straightforward path to get your entire email system into the cloud in one single unified step.
So, the final question lands back with you. Now that you've seen the process, the rules, the pros, the cons, is your business ready for a big bang migration? It's an incredibly powerful and efficient option, if you fit the profile.